As dawn breaks at the Whiskers' burrow, there's no sign of life above ground. The Whiskers are still cozily entwined underground. It's not often that they make a late start, but once in a while, sleeping in doesn't do any harm. And although a little slower off the mark than usual, one by one they unravel themselves and prepare for the day's activity, blissfully unaware of their enemies nearby. Hannibal and the commandos are already up and ready for action. These dangerous rivals normally live on the boundary of Whisker territory, but the dry weather and limited resources have forced them to scour a larger area for food. These lean, mean Meerkat machines will stop at nothing to get what they want, and they head straight out on today's operation. While the commandos are already hunting for breakfast, the Whiskers are only just surfacing. But it's not long before Flower leads the group out. The adults don't waste any time getting down to digging. But Zaphod is distracted. He's picked up a fresh scent left by Hannibal, the dominant male of the commandos. The smell of a rival gang on home turf soon sends the rest of the group into a frenzy. Zaphod frantically tries to cover up the enemy odor. The only thing that diverts him from his responsibilities are the vultures gathering in the distance. These giant scavengers can smell death in the air. Over in Lazuli territory, a Hemsbach has succumbed to the winter drought. The Lazuli are wary. But as the vultures sweep down for their feast, the Lazuli soon settle in the shade. Although surrounded by her family, Kazana casts a lonely figure. With Big Si dead and no unrelated males in the group, she has little chance of finding a permanent mate. Which makes her last two pups even more valuable. Today, they're at the Lazuli babysitting burrow, being looked after by young female Marilyn. It's a big responsibility for such an inexperienced meerkat. For now, though, Bubble and Squeak are tucked safely underground. In fact, Marilyn's only distraction seems to be all the annoying flies buzzing around her. But the Lazuli are not the first family to appear at the burrow. The commandos have found Marilyn at home, alone. One small meerkat against a large gang doesn't stand a chance. The commandos seize their opportunity Any opposition they can wipe out will make them stronger. Against these odds, Marilyn isn't going to risk a fight and runs for her life, only to be hotly pursued by a crack team of 4 commandos, leaving Kazana's 2 defenseless pups to face the rest of the commandos alone. Completely unaware of the unfolding disaster at home, the Lazuli are in no hurry. Hannibal and his henchmen arrive at the burrow, determined to dig out and kill any pups they can find. Bubble and Squeak are sitting targets. Ozzy, Hannibal's son, keeps a lookout for any returning Lazuli, while the rest of the gang furiously dig at the burrow, trying to widen the entrance. Nikita, the commando's dominant female, is the first to venture in. Deep underground, Bubble and Squeak are oblivious to the danger heading their way. Nikita uses her strong sense of smell to find her way around the pitch-black tunnels, edging ever closer to the powerless pups. This hunt in unfamiliar surroundings is a risky business. She doesn't know who she might come up against, and if the Lazuli were to return home and find her there, the hunter would soon become the hunted. Suddenly, Nikita drags one of the pups into the daylight. With none of the family around, her cries for help are fruitless, and it's soon all over for little Bubble. It might look barbaric, but this is nature in the desert. Moments later, the Lazuli reach the boundaries of their burrow. From the brow of the hill, Kazana looks down and sees her home overrun by the enemy. They act immediately. Ozzy spots them coming, and having gotten what they came for, the commandos beat a hasty retreat. The Lazuli creep forward to assess the damage. Marilyn's injured and bleeding. She's had a thorough beating from the commandos, but at least she's alive. Realizing their loss, the Lazuli huddle up together to reaffirm their family bond. For one meerkat in particular, there's some welcome comfort. Against all odds, little Squeak has survived the attack and is needing lots of love and comfort. In this one surviving pup, the spirit of Big Si lives on. But the commandos' raid has been another devastating blow for the Lazuli. Not only did Big Si die, leaving Kazana without a breeding male, but now his pup has been killed and a young adult injured. The Lazuli are increasingly looking like a spent force and not the massive threat to the Whiskers that they used to be. Next time on Meerkat Manor, the Whiskers make a move to find new digs, and Flower's latest pregnancy sets her on the warpath.